Hey everybody, it is Chuck Barone on Thursday, August the 15th, 2024. Here we are rocking and rolling. You see this stuff today, guys? What great numbers for the Fed. Powell gets the cigar for this one. Everything going their way. Looks like we're going to have that rate cut in September. I still got to see it to believe it, But numbers today coming in kind of pointing toward we got a shot at this soft landing thing. We'll see. Again, you know me, guys. I can't help myself. These are things that are theory, finance theory, soft landing, and all this bullshit. The idea that you can bring down costs and inflation as quickly as we did, and there's not going to be any bounce anywhere, tells me that a lot of it was funky, right? Or was it really the bottleneck? The supply chain issues. I don't know, but it's really something how everything just. I guess we get all kinds of doubt on the government numbers, and this is why. How often do you see everything just kind of go perfectly in line for them to do exactly what they're hoping to do? Crazy times, man. The craziest. You see these markets today just blasting off. I don't think the market really knows or understands what it wants right now, thinking lower rates are going to be the magic bullet, right? But anyway, so data comes in. Before I get rolling, let me take a second. Welcome everybody to the show. And as always, thank you guys for your support. Interesting chat today going on with the guys here. We got this election coming up, and we're watching things now as it's straightening out. It looks like it is going to be Trump against Harris, and everybody kind of looking at this race a little bit with a jaundiced eye because I just, in my mind, I got to believe there's somebody in this country who could be a great president. I'm just not so sure one of those two is the one. Anyway, markets today, great data day. Markets take off like crazy. The Dow Jones Industrials up 554 points, just rallying like crazy. 40,563 on the Dow. Wow. The NASDAQ up 401 points. 17,594. Yeah, wow. And the S&P up 88 points. It's a huge move for the S&P 500. 5,543 on the S&P 500. Just an astounding day for the stock market. Rally, rally, rally. The bull's still running, guys. The bull's going in stocks. Bond market, on the other hand, not so much. Not so much. Price is falling pretty hard today. The 10-year falls, or I'm sorry, price is falling, yields rising. So the 10-year today is up 10 basis points, up to 3.92%. These rates were just coming down dramatically last week. The 2-year up 15 basis points today, now at 4.10%. Wow, what a difference a day makes, guys. The spot market, I think this is a reaction pretty much to the economy is, from the data we saw today, the economy is not really, according to this data, the economy is not heading toward a recession, at least imminently. So now you're probably going to take that half-point cut in September off the table. Bond market reacts. Bond market reacts, so is the dollar. Dollar jumps 43 basis points today, back up over 103, 103.03 on the index. So dollar back up. Gold today and silver, amazingly, with a strong dollar rallying, gold and silver rally as well. Gold up $8.60 today. $2,456.80 for an ounce of gold. Silver up 82 cents. A decent day for silver finally. $28.43 for an ounce of silver. Come on, silver. We need silver at 30 and above. Oil today rallies up $1 exactly. $77.98 for a barrel of West Texas Intermediate. we'll see if this Israel-Iran thing kind of quieting down a little bit, but who knows when Iran actually pulls the trigger, depending on what they do, we'll see what happens with the price of oil. Probably get a short-term spike for sure. Bitcoin today, down $2,120. Tough day for Bitcoin. 56,960 for Bitcoin. I think it has a support number around 54, another one around 52. Looks like Bitcoin is going to go test those support numbers again. Bounced pretty strong last time it got down there. We'll see if it can do it again. It bounced off around 54, I think. It bounced pretty strongly, but once it got to 60, it got stuck there, couldn't break through. Now we're going to retest that 54, I believe. All right, let's talk about data today. Interesting doings. So we got jobless claims. That was the first piece of data we got, 5:30 this morning. Jobless claims fall 7,000, 2,000, or 227,000 this week. That's down from 230 last week. The continuing unemployment number also coming down pretty nicely. So this was taken as a positive sign that although the number is still elevated from what it was, and the unemployment number is higher than what it was, this shows that this big booming layoff thing coming, that would probably move us into recession. This shows it's not happening. It's at least not this week. We'll see though, guys, because this data changes from day to day, and so do the markets with it. It's crazy. So the economy seems to be just going right along. Nothing real hot, nothing real cold, just chugging along, which is exactly what Powell wants. He wants it, the Goldilocks, right? Not too hot, not too cold, the perfect temperature where the economy is growing, but not at too fast a pace. Inflation numbers coming down. I was reading a pretty big article today. Walmart really putting pressure on their suppliers to bring prices down. The CEO was saying that they're making progress. They're having, some zigzags, eggs back up, and dairy and some other stuff. But they said the real problem is ultra-processed foods, stuff like soda pop, crackers, the stuff that's man-made food, right? Not natural stuff. That's where the inflation really kind of sticking around right now, and they're trying to get prices down. So jobs not as hot as they were just a short time ago, but still pretty strong. Now this is going to be an interesting one because the jobs number at the end of the month last month in July was so poor. It's going to be interesting to see how it works in August. September, usually you get a boost in jobs because people hiring for seasonal, moving toward the holidays. But August is going to be an important one. Let's see how that jobs report looks. Another piece of key data today that helped this market take off, retail sales. Retail sales just like an Elon Musk rocket, guys, climbing 1% from last month, a huge jump. Interestingly, it was 0.1% last month. This month, it's 1.0%, so that's quite a leap in retail sales. That's the best showing for jump in retail sales in a year and a half. So now it's interesting because after the unemployment spiked up to 4.3, spooking the markets, everything kind of, oh my God, the looming recession is here, blah, blah, blah. Now you put these two together, consumers still spending. Consumers spending like freaking crazy. Businesses not laying people off, not hiring so much. The new jobs number last month was horrifying. Not horrifying, but not great. But at least they're not laying people off, right? So this is exactly how Powell wants it. It's really interesting. So now we got to take a look at consumer credit. That's where I want to see. When I see retail sales spike like that, I want to see, did consumer credit spike with those retail sales? Are people buying stuff on the plastic? Are people buying stuff on their card? Now, I know my crowd here, certainly not, this crowd is not a borrow and spend money people, at least I'm guessing for the most part. A lot of the comments I read, people actually no debt or very, very little debt. So that's heartwarming to me, guys. But I just want to see, again, now retail sales is great. Let's see what consumer credit looks like, and let's see what consumer spending looks like. Who's this retail says this business is doing it? Is it consumers? Who's buying this, right? It's going to be fascinating. But so today, a good day for economic news. Here's an interesting story I read today, too. They finally passed the law where we could negotiate drug prices for Medicare, right? And everybody kind of did not think that was such a great idea. But it turns out, first thing they did, of course, was the insulin thing, bringing the cost of insulin down, which was a total, absolute money fuck, excuse my French. This is not a new drug. This is a drug that was invented 70 years ago. They understood insulin and how it works. But they just continually raise the price. It was their cash cow. Well, now that's gone away. But now they actually negotiating drug prices for Medicare for the first time ever. Check it out, guys. They got better pricing on their 10 top major drugs. So these are the drugs that they are the ones who buy the most of these drugs. Obviously, they're the biggest customer of these drugs. These are the top 10 big ones that cost Medicare the most, okay? Now, they say Medicare now, from these discounts they got, will save $6 billion. This price is going into effect January 1st, saving Medicare $6 billion a year on these 10 drugs. People, the other side of you got the insurance, right? They're going to save $6 billion. People who pay the co-pays and all the other crap that goes with these drugs, they're going to save $1.5 billion on just these 10 drugs. Now, these 10 drugs cost Medicare over $50 billion freaking dollars in 2022. And these 10 drugs were almost 20% of Medicare's total drug cost. So getting a discount like that, now, what is it, a little more than 10%, 12% maybe, something like that? It's pretty good. We'll take that. Okay. It's a good start. So finally, something we can point to the government and say, holy crap, they actually did something that's going to benefit people that besides big corporations and rich people. This is going to benefit old people, not to mention the Medicare system itself. So I thought that was pretty cool that, holy crap, guys, the government actually did something that worked out pretty freaking good. Now, you guys remember the big fights they had over this. The lobbyists, man, were pouring pharma money into Congress like freaking crazy. But these are for big drugs that a lot of people take: Eliquis, these blood thinners, cancer drugs, seizure medication. Sorry, not Viagra, I don't think. Birth control, probably not in there as well. But these are drugs that cost Medicare the most. These are the drugs that, even probably giving these discounts, drug companies are still making mammoth profits on. But I think it's, hey, you know what? If I'm the government, right? We want a business. We want to run our government like a business, right? If we want to put a guy like Trump in there, a business guy, savvy, and then we don't negotiate prices, what in the hell kind of friggin' business's model is that? So you're the biggest buyer of all this stuff on the planet, and you don't want to get the best price? Some of the prices we pay for military, I know that's all the big bullshit, cloudy black ops, covering up all that bullshit in the military budget. But man, some of the prices we pay for stuff, each one of these airplanes really, millions and millions of dollars, and everything costs millions and billions of dollars. The biggest trough in the history of the world for the piggies to feed out of. But this, who knows, guys? Maybe the world is going to turn just a scooch to the benefit of working people. You guys know my politics. I hate both parties. I think they're both traitors to what their traditions were. The Republican Party used to be all about good government, man. They weren't into all the social stuff like they are now. That was the Republican Party I was in for 40 friggin' years, right? And then the Democrat Party was the party of working people, blue collar people, unions. And they've betrayed that. So they're both full of crap. But we want a businessman. Well, when are we going to get somebody that wants to behave like one? Because if I'm running the USA, the corporation that I'm running, man, believe me when I say some shit going to be different. But anyway, I babble. I want to just get on one last thing before I go, guys. I talked about it a little bit earlier. Check it out. The data breach, guys. This is a big deal, okay? So pay attention here for a minute. National Public Data. Biggest data warehouse in the freaking planet, has data on everybody. It's what they use for background checks. It's where the government goes to get data. It's just they have everything on everybody, guys, okay? They had a hack, a breach, 2.9 billion personal records stolen, okay? Including basically everybody's social security number, name, everything they need to take your identity and just fuck you over, okay? This is really, really, really a bad one, guys. A little bit different than a regular hack where they get in and, okay, they hack T-Mobile and you got an account there. This is a little bit different, okay? This is literally all the important data on you that any crook could possibly want, okay? So here's what some stuff you guys need to do, okay? Simple stuff. Number one, be on the lookout for identity theft, okay? If you have like a free credit report from your bank, or you can keep an eye on your credit, keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on any changing of passwords, guys. Be careful with all of that stuff, because what they're going to do is they're going to try to create new accounts for you. They're going to try to change passwords on your existing accounts. They're going to have enough information on you to be able to do this stuff, okay? So there's a couple of things you can do, just a couple of things you can do that are really easy. First thing you can do is freeze your credit files. You can get a hold of the 3 credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, lock your credit. Boom, that's it. Now no one can open new accounts under your name because your credit's locked, okay? Second thing you can do is there's services you can get. Everybody's seen these services advertised all over the place, LifeLock and stuff like that, that monitor the dark web, that monitor your accounts and kind of work to help protect your accounts. And the third simple thing you can do, guys, is just get 2-factor authorization. I know it's a pain in the ass to input a friggin' number. I mean, it is. I hate that. But if it protects your accounts, you want to do that, guys, because that's going to be what the scam is. If you don't, like, say you have a bank account at Wells Fargo and you don't have online banking, these hackers are just going to open an online banking account for you, and then they can Zelle the money anywhere they want. They're going to be able to do so much damage, and they're going to, because I guess when they stole these records, they wanted to try to find a way to sell them, but there was such a massive amount of them they couldn't figure it out, so they just put it up on the dark web free. So everybody's information is out there. Don't fool yourself. Be very, very careful, guys, okay? And protect yourselves. Because what's going to happen is this is going to be big. You trust me when I say 6 months or a year from now, this is going to be headline stuff, guys, okay? Because this is going to be the biggest breach and the biggest mass ever of identity fraud and identity theft ever, coming soon because of this. So know that and prepare yourselves. Be careful. Anyway, guys, we're going to get a shit ton of data tomorrow. Of course, while we're here, let's see what the markets look like. They're going to want to get, I think they're going to want to finish this week strong, because it's been a pretty good week for the markets. So we'll be here tomorrow to bring you guys the news you need. Please hit the thumbs up, guys. Helps our show, helps us get a few more views. We really could use those views. Thank you to everybody on the chat. Very interesting chat. We'll talk about some politics. You know, guys, we're talking about Kamala Harris's policies and some of the stuff she's saying, talking about price caps. Thanks, Dave and Molly. And sorry, Marley. And, you know, they're on, and he was talking about that. And that never works. Never works. Never, never, never. They've tried it a million Brazilian times, all different ways. It doesn't work. Free enterprise needs to have guardrails, for sure. But let the market take care of it. The market always tends to work itself out, man. Gougers, they can maybe get away with it for a short time. It just doesn't last very long, and then they're all done. Anyway, guys, I babble on. Love y'all. Appreciate the support. Tomorrow's Friday. Let's get wound up for the weekend. I'm going to go watch me some preseason football. What the heck? It's on. I might as well see it. Everybody have a good evening. Until tomorrow, guys. Take care. Thanks.